Hello guys, thanks for stopping by and a very warm welcome to you all. My name is Stan and I'm here to talk. Whatever you may have been taught at school, college, university, in popular culture or whatever, your body is not you. It is a vessel which you, your soul, occupies in this dimension, in this earthly realm. Every child created by a man and a woman, i.e. not created by artificial means like a laboratory-grown avatar, a hybrid chimera of mixed species, or other genetic abomination, will have a soul sent into it, breathed into it by God. The soul is invisible, or at least it cannot be seen directly by mortal men. Although one soul can sense another soul, but you can't actually see the soul. Your soul is simultaneously in this dimension and in the heavenly dimension. It is simultaneously on the kingdom of earth and in the kingdom of heaven. It may help you in building your visualization if you consider the soul as being a mass of energy, an amorphous energy mass in another dimension we call heaven. This is an energetic amorphous mass that's transmitting a signal, a highly focused signal that is of a specific frequency, and that signal is also encrypted. It's much more sophisticated than any radio frequency and a quantum data stream and so forth. It's well beyond all of that. And this signal travels from the dimension called heaven through a dimensional opening or portal into this dimension that we call earth. Your body, or rather the specific DNA within every cell within your body, acts as a receiver to this signal. It is tuned to the specific frequency that your soul transmits on. It's tuned to your channel, in other words. This allows your soul to be downloaded from the spiritual realm and into the decoding device specifically made for your soul in this dimension, which is your body. The body is therefore a vessel in this earthly realm which allows you, the real you, to interact in this realm. Now, I know that's complex, I know that is deep, but that is a fundamental. You, your soul, experiences this earthly realm through your body, and you, your soul, expresses yourself through your body. This expression is only possible and manifest through consciousness. Now, this is where I touch upon a little bit on the meaning of life. You, your soul, was created in the heavenly dimension, and it remains linked to the heavenly dimension. But it is sent to this lower dimension, kingdom of earth, to be tested, and tested it will be. Some only for a very short time, others over the course of an entire lifetime. You are living life partly as a test. Please remember that. Please remember that. Remember also, your soul is tethered to the kingdom of heaven always. So anything your soul does here through your body in this realm has an effect or a repercussion in the kingdom of heaven, in that dimension. This is very, very important. It's an important principle to remember in spiritual warfare. because you are linked to the kingdom of heaven. You, your soul, is both here and in the spiritual realm at the same time. Therefore, your inactions or your actions, in other words, your choices, have consequences in both dimensions. The tether to the kingdom of heaven can only be broken by God, but the link to your body can at least be interrupted, if not entirely broken, partly through channeling and partly in another way, which I'll attempt to explain later. As I mentioned earlier, in this dimension, your soul can only express itself through the body. As also mentioned, this expression is via consciousness. So the greater the level of your consciousness, then the greater the level of your expression or the ability to express, the more you can achieve in this dimension, this realm, through your body. If you are unconscious or asleep, your soul cannot express itself through the body. Conversely, if you are awake, your conscious level is higher, and therefore your ability to perceive, to experience, to comprehend will be heightened, and therefore your ability to express your true self, your soul, you, will be greater than someone who is asleep or operating at a lower level of consciousness. Now, don't confuse consciousness with knowledge or intelligence. Let me try and elaborate. If your body is corrupted in some way, and by corrupted I mean damaged, then the ability of your soul, your true self, you, all aspects of your true nature, to be expressed through consciousness, through your body, will be proportionally reduced in relation to the extent of the corruption, the damage. Basically, your body and its condition, its functionality, it determines how, or even if you can, interact with this earthly dimension. A fully functioning, fully balanced body allows the soul to be fully expressed through high consciousness. This is why your body is constantly and relentlessly attacked. Your body and your soul are the mortal and the immortal combined. Your soul is the immortal part, obviously. And we are taught through popular culture and movies and so on that if something is immortal, then it can't be harmed, it can't die. Certainly not in the concepts as we're taught them. But your immortal soul can be harmed, but only you can harm it, and only you can harm your own soul through your own body. Just pause there for just contemplate that. Your immortal soul can be harmed, but only you can harm it, and only you can harm it through your own body. Now, it may surprise a few people, but it shouldn't do. Our souls can only be got at through our body, and even then only by the actions that we take or we don't take. Any mention of attacks upon the physical body will not be complete without a mention of transhumanism. Transhumanism is a very powerful satanic, Luciferian, Promethean, however you want to term it, attack upon the body. It's the final attack upon the human body. And we see it now being pushed in popular culture, and we see X-Men, Superman, you pretty much name it, all these characters with superhero abilities and superpowers and so forth, being made to look very aspirational for children to look up to and wish that their bodies could perform in that way. We're also seeing in popular culture and in science magazines and pretty much everywhere, all over the place now, the references to transferring consciousness, uploading consciousness, downloading consciousness, transferring consciousness, the nature of consciousness. And remember what I said, consciousness is the expression of the soul. Well, the satanic people, the Luciferians, the Prometheans, they do not want people to make that link between consciousness being the expression of the soul. They just want to make out it's the result of electrical activity in the brain and just neurons firing and chemicals going across synapses and so forth, and it can all be copied and scanned and transferred and downloaded, etc. It's all to do with making the technological ripping of the soul from a body and transferring it to an abomination appear attractive. And this is why we see all sorts of references now to extended longevity, transferring the consciousness, memories and so on into a clone, into an avatar, into a new body, into a cyborg, or however it is going to be termed. Basically, it's a deception to encourage people to consent to a ripping the tether of their soul of their body and transferring that tether, retethering it to an abomination. The idea eventually is the fulfillment of the original promise that Satan made in the garden, and is that ye shall be as gods and ye shall surely not die. And if you can imagine, if your soul was tethered to a superhuman body which could do all sorts of things, some sort of like cross between X-Men, Superman and Iron Man or whatever, all combined in one brand new body, you would have the ability of the fabled gods of old to do superhuman feats and acts. And because the body was lifeless, it could theoretically continue as long as it had energy. It was plugged in or drawing power from somewhere, and parts as it were replaced. So the promise that Satan made in the garden, you shall be as gods and you shall surely not die, it is being fulfilled, but it's being fulfilled in a way that few people could ever have imagined, and those foolish enough to accept such a thing will find themselves trapped within the abomination that was created, and when it eventually decays and breaks down, which could be centuries or even millennia, and it will break down because everything breaks down over time, they will be trapped in that decaying wreck, and they will pray for death and they will not find it. Because remember what I said at the beginning of the video, it says that your soul is tethered in heaven and only God can break that tether. Well, if you break the tether here in this realm, there are implications in the realm of heaven as there are here. The soul is in both dimensions at the same time. So if you cut yourself off, rip your soul out of your body, then your soul will be cut off from heaven. The tether will be cut and you will be cast down to this earth permanently. You will be cut off. You're only on this planet for a mere blink of an eye. It may seem like a long time, a lifetime may seem like a long time, but when it's measured against all of eternity, it is less than the blink of an eye. And so if you can resist sin, you can resist temptation, you can resist distractions, and never turn your back on God and never lose faith, then Satan can have no claim upon your soul, and you will return from where you came from, which is the kingdom of heaven. Anyway, I'll end it there. Thank you very much for listening, and may God bless you.